Hey, I'm Colin. I kind of want to make a video of how I put to the deploy development game mode from Conquer's Blade on the Nightmare mode. I have been able to consistently use this strategy to get uh, rewards. As you can see, I don't have them anymore in the right screen, and I have the title on my profile. One benefit of just starting straight away with Nightmare is that you clear all the easier level challenges also in one time. So I just recommend just go straight into Nightmare. And I think with the strategy I have, you can just consistently get through it, unless you're really unlucky. Where one thing I think is important, I'm using the glaive. I'm not even using the attack buff ability. I don't think you need it. I think the only thing important about your weapon class is that you can tank a bit and take out more than one. Stun more than one unit, and especially stunning heroes is really important because heroes will really fuck up your front line. Well, to start with, I raise my difficulty 2 times. Then I unlock that point at the middle. Well, I could play I would usually play here straight away the squires, but I think the Imperial Arquebusiers are pretty good, so I will place those first here. This part is kind of depending on how you do your gameplay, I guess. I would usually first unlock the front archer spots there and there, but I think this is a good spot for the Imperial Arquebusiers. I unlock the middle to kind of hold the incoming enemies, because the ranged at the sides will do all the work. I will only block this point and that point at the back, and I will keep everything else open. I can already raise it once more. I will just do it straight away because I think this line can tank a bit more and easily take out the next wave. I will quickly check what I can get. Nuncan archers. That means that I will knock that spot over there, place the Nuncan archer there. Overall, I think the fire archers, the incendiary archers are the best in this game mode, but the problem is that the more you use a unit, the more expensive it becomes. So the incendiary archers almost double in price and already quite expensive to begin with. And what else? A lot of people make their units go to here to let this guy tank a bit. I wouldn't recommend that because everything he kills doesn't count towards your points. As you can see, I will now quickly replace these guys so they can catch up the next wave. And again, I let the archers do most of the work. As you can see, I kind of fucked up here, so I will quickly also unlock the backline and put in some claymores. Oh yeah, and it is of course really important that you are not going to die. If you die, you fail the challenge. And it is quite easy not to die, you just have to be careful when replacing units you are not in the front line to get damaged. While you actually, very important, while you deploy your units, you also make sure you keep leveling up, because the higher the difficulty, the more points you will get from killing units. By the time you have at wave 6 of the practice stage, you should already have the max level of the difficulty. Also here I would put a better unit, a tanky unit. Those won't die too easily, and they won't do too much work. It is most important that these guys do the work of blocking, and this can be as cheap as possible. On this spot I would do claymores, berserkers, or yeah, those two. I know there's another unit that's pretty good, but it slipped my mind. Maybe I see it later. And at this spot I would keep it on guys like even javelins, prefecture guards, whatever. Yeah, and I don't use to shuffle too much this because I feel like it's a waste of troops. Or not troops, points. Also, the red and marksmen are actually really good. I would place them closer because in theory marksman and like crossbow units and arquebusiers perform better on a closer range. These guys also have the poison perks, which makes them actually quite good. Again, like later in the stage, what I'm doing now, the placing units while the other enemy units are coming is quite risky. It might cause you to die, but you don't want them to reach the end. I also quickly raise the difficulty again. As you can see, I'm now at the highest difficulty level and I'm already in wake 7. A bit too late. Now the point is to kind of fill up all the spots and try to get to the highest points possible. It's usually for me between 30k to 40k. I think if you could easily get 35k at least with this strat. I might not get it now because I was a bit late. With the leveling up, I reached it at the end of wave 7, so I might already have been missing some points. As you can see, the Imperial Arquebusiers, I placed them one time before. Last time they were around 400 points, now they're already around 800 points. So try to not repeat the same unit. And just keep placing the archers basically like I'm doing now. I won't cut in this video. I am too lazy to edit everything, and I also not good at it, so you will see the full process of what I am doing. Be careful also with placing any kind of tower shield unit. They spawn randomly. If the unit is actually close to them, they get caught up and they're not that strong in the flank. And now we just place Iron Cap Archer. Pretty sure I have them already, but they're just in 80 points. And now it's just basically waiting, keep replenishing this unit. If you need to replenish this unit. And try not to die. And get the points up to at least 32k, I guess. I have seen people do it with less points, but I guess you have to be really lucky if you want to do it with less points. Here again, you see me take the cheapest unit. To replenish. I don't want to waste points on that, and I also don't want to waste points on these other spots, that is why I don't unlock them. In theory, you could get more points probably if you unlock the front 2 and fill the back up with archers and put on the front 2 shield units that can just block everything. But you're not always lucky enough to get them, and if they die, you basically waste a shit ton of archers, especially against the berserkers that will be coming out later. So now I kind of have 1, 2, 3, 4 spots, and on the other side 4 archer spots, and in the middle I have 2 infantry spots. I think you shouldn't have more than that. I think you can even do it without one of these infantry spots if you feel like it. I think you can also do it maybe with 2 archer spots less. That's completely up to you. I'm not saying this is the best strat, I'm just saying I did consistently with this strat. I have also seen my friends do it with my strat. And that is why I recommend. So what was nice is you kind of wait till the guys are there, so you don't get focused up. now I pressed the wrong button. I didn't get spine of a base point because they died fast, but they still block a bit and relief. You should always try to place infantry units, like for example the man spearman, which can be nice. And here some squares. Oh, and here I almost die. That is what you should try to prevent. You can also see actually about my healing, your runes won't apply. So that's another reason, that is also something you should be aware of. So you can't sprint, heal, you can't use any of the other runes, so be aware of that. And also part of the reason I like Heat of Battles in my standard setup, and also don't think it matters is that I can escape easier from units. Two more waves to go. Maybe important noticing, I didn't come up with this strategy completely myself. Especially this first part I based on the video that I will try to link, if I don't forget, if I upload this. Since it's probably just for friends watching, I don't really care to get it at all. Anyway. Oh yeah. Last wave. Yeah, this wave actually is can be quite challenging. I think the 14th, 13th and 12th wave is gonna be quite challenging. You see that I'm 26k points. I will quickly replace this line before I get caught up in that. And you see the berserkers really do a number on everything I will put down now. So I will also just quickly replace this. You see the spear militia front line just got up a bit, which is what you should try to prevent. Here some refresh your guards. Yeah, I won't get the full points for these berserkers because they went through. Not much I can do about that. And again, try to keep replenishing units. If they get killed up by the Senjis or the commander, you won't get the points, which is your waste. And here, as you can see, I could do this more efficiently, but now I'm more focused about not dying, as well as not letting him have too many units. And this is the last wave. And as you can see, 37k points, which is pretty decent. Here of course you instantly put it on Nightmare. I recommend the position I'm now going to do. I just unlock this one. If eventually you unlock every point, you should kind of hurry because you only have 60 seconds as was displayed in the screen. These are all trash. For Tobacco, I would put for Tobacco in these spots, and also I kind of mirror my setup on both sides. These are stalwarts. I place stalwarts in the full front. Civilian militia I put here. I think they can also replace, don't put flamers, they won't have the range to actually reach the front line, they will only have the range to reach the flanks. So you could put them here, but I prefer Senjis here. Paladins could go there. On that side, I don't really recommend it, but you also have to be careful with points. So if you get some alternative, just use it. Imperial archers are used in the front, they can basically shoot on the spawn point there, on the spawn point there. Then again, I don't have anything useful. Again, nothing useful. Senjis I put on these spots, of course. Like I said, I mirror it on both sides. Like this one, nothing good. More stalwarts. Stalwarts are only good on this point. They could be used on the sides, but my experience is they die to the berserkers because the berserkers can easily get into the flanks. 30 seconds left. Tertiaries I put on this spot. I think archers work also on this spot, but I put tertiaries because they are relatively cheap. compared to Senjis as well. They go down here sometimes to tank a bit, and then they go in melee mode. And I think they're not a bad unit. And of course, like I said, the more you use a unit, the more expensive the unit becomes. Now I need to start hurrying up. Just 10 seconds left. Incendiary archers could go on front. They're about as good as Imperial archers, and they have the flame. I could also actually put the Sequoia Militia again, but I feel like the Mezzana Militia comes across more than the... more Incendiary archers, I will place them there. I would also usually put tertios here, but I think if you get a unit that is an alternative, you should just use it, because otherwise you run out of points, and you want, after full deployment of all your units, you kind of want to be able to have units left. Oh, I accidentally skipped the Bagpipers. That is also a unit I think I like using. Wolves of Fangren will start spawning here at some point. I think Myrmidons are good in this position. They generally don't die. And now you see already losing here too, because they can kind of still get in the flanks, which is not a good thing. So I need to really hurry up. More Senji Grenadiers. I think I might actually deploy those here, because I don't think I get the Sequoian anytime soon. Then Alchemist could be here. I would usually use Bagpipers, but Alchemist will also start healing this entire front line. And you don't forget you can use your... Oh, now I'm kind of unlucky that I get Bagpipers. Myrmidons I also put on this flank. From here mostly Squires will come, or Men-at-Arms I think actually. I don't really know the difference. Yeah, one is stronger of course, but Paladins can hold them, but at the last wave Berserkers come, and then you often need to replace them. And in my experience, the Myrmidons on the flanks don't need to be replaced at all. Your front line, however, you need to replace at some point, but that's not important. And now here, I would put 3 times Stalwarts, but I didn't get Saurus, I got Myrmidons. I don't want to waste too much points, so I put those here. And now it is basically waiting. You see your Stalwarts are getting healed by these. I would want to actually have Sequoians here instead of Senji, but I got Senji. Here I did want to have 3 Stalwarts, but I didn't get 3 Stalwarts. There I got the Imperial Archers, there I got the Incendiary Archers. I would have wanted 2 times Incendiary Archers, Imperial Archers, I didn't get it. They also have Incendiary Archers, same here, I would have wanted Tertios here. But I didn't get Tertios, so I got the Incendiary Archers first. Shuffling cost a lot of points, so I would recommend taking your points seriously. And here I kind of fucked up, because I didn't stand the hero, and now you see that it's really fucked up my setup. And I would also already have to replace this. Luckily I got Stalwarts. It is not ideal that I already have to replace them now, because this costs a lot of points which I might need. So pay attention when the enemy rebel champions come, or whatever they're called, because those are the most devastating to your setup. And like I said, this is not an important site. You could have placed Paladins there, but it's dangerous nonetheless. Remember that your trainer doesn't really do anything in this game mode, only in the first stage. This stage should mostly be fine. And now the advice I have is just keep your points till you can actually till you have to place. There is another rebel captain, and like I said, oh, now he got stunned by the Senjis, but try to stun him as soon as possible. Don't try to let him recover too much, because he will do a lot of damage to your front line. This is also part of the reason why I like the Bagpipers more than the Alchemist. The Bagpipers give a 10% buff to your defenses and 10% buff to your armor of your units. And here you see it is mostly wolves, but now the Berserkers also start spawning. You kind of need to make sure the Berserkers can't really flank your guys too much. And now you see actually the strength of the Myrmidons compared to the... Yeah, you see the strength of the Myrmidons compared to the stalwarts, because they're strong. They have shields on their flank, they block incoming attack. But stalwarts only have a front shield. One disadvantage here is that you can't really see what wave you are, so you have to kind of be careful with that. Wave 7 is coming. I already lost this front line almost, but I think that is fine at this wave. You see the Myrmidons do quite well, but again, the more units die, the more units you take, the more you get. I think Myrmidons these towers perform pretty well on the front line, while they don't perform as well at all at the flanks, so I would focus your Myrmidons on the flanks and your stalwarts at the front. If you get 5 Myrmidons in a row, just please use them. I'm pretty sure Myrmidons are quite a bit cheaper than the stalwarts, but pay attention to the price. It's not always worth it to shuffle, and it's not always worth it to get the same units, because you don't always have the points to do that. And here I have only 1000 points left, which can be risky. Let's see, now you see they're going berserkers, those are most of the time the death of the paladins, but you already saw it on the other side, the Myrmidons do fine. Also, again for the front line, you also have the IPG in this game, not IPG, the spear guards, Imperial spear guards. I think they work well on the front line. But they're really shit compared to the stalwarts and the Myrmidon, so don't use them. But if you get them, just use them, because you can't shuffle 24/7. Okay, now it's time to put in some squires, because the stalwarts are about to die. These are probably fine for a while longer. But here the important is that they don't kill your fortress. Your fortress are the main damage here, and if they break, and they're also kind of the last line of defense for your alchemist, Skallion, and your Senji. If they break through, you're fucked. And again, it's over. Again, try to stun this guy. He's the most dangerous to the entire setup, and that is also kind of why you need a class that can deal with it. Now just replace this with the Jeffs. I replace this with the woodcutters. Their job is now just to block as much of the enemy that is incoming. To be honest, I'm not sure if I will make it this round. If so, I probably won't upload this video. But yeah, you see, I might make it. I have 340 points left. If I have not any cheap units now in rotation, I will quickly check. I'm fucked. I have to do an experiment, so I'm probably fine. I will wait. Yeah, this is already the end, so I will just place them, because I don't give a shit anymore. But you see how much damage this rebel leader does to your setup. And now you see I can't place anything anymore. But as you see, I have a battle. Well, this was the end. Thanks. I hope you will be able to achieve victory yourself with this strat.